Let me know when.
We're good.
Are we live yet? Can
We're
I go?
live now. You
Can I go? I can do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, new girl. I'm going to get you a raise. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Marvel Tribe. We are a group of excited and passionate individuals who have come together to share our love for all things Marvel. Now, we are brought to you by Walt's Apartment Podcast and the DisInsider.com. Check those out. I am so honored to be joined by this amazing group of Marvel nerds. From the big screen to the small print, feel the pulse in your chest so you know you're alive. One team, one love. It's the Marvel Tribe. Marvel Tribe. Take that.
Welcome to the Marvel Tribe. Do you have Shuri behind you? I just noticed that.
I thought it was a fish tank.
I did too. I thought it was a fish tank until I noticed that it looks like Shuri is behind him. David needs to unmute his mic before we begin.
My mic's on mute. It's got disconnected for a second. She's in the lab doing some work. So.
She's in the lab. So David right now is in the lab with Shuri. And you have Lucas and the new girl staying there.
There's Agent Ross right there. You see his shoulder. So
yes. Hello, Agent Ross. Thanks. Nice of you to join us.
Yeah, they're BFFs. So
it is so nice of them to join us.
With that.
What's that?
You got to put your M'Baku gear on while you're with that background.
Oh, that's too. Oh man, I can't tell you how many hours it takes to get that stuff on there. It's a minute to get in the costume. So, but it's worth it when I do.
Well, we actually have some interesting stuff that we're going to talk about today because we really don't have a lot of information yet. So you're going to get a lot of fan theory speculation from us today about I Am Groot and She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Yes. I Am Groot is going to be releasing on Disney Plus on August 10th.
The 10th? Yes.
So the 10th. And we know very, very little about it other than it's a series of shorts with some other characters that are going to be intertwined in. I'm thinking like we got with, what is it called? What If? But I don't know. I have no idea what to expect. What do you guys think?
So I think that Groot in his baby formative years and stuff, up until his defiant teenager, troublemaking years, likes to go on like side quests and mini adventures because he just don't know better. So I think it may be more play of that. So I don't know. He may get into a fight with ant colony and stuff because while they're parking and refueling the ship for the Guardians. So who knows?
I think we're going to get absolutely nothing from it, and I'm saying that because it's called shorts. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we're going to get like remember on Disney Plus they did like the Dog Days. They did Olaf Presents.
Yeah,
I feel like we're going to get something that is. They're doing this in August, so that merch better be in stores by November because every kid's going to want a baby Groot and all the new little creatures we're going to see. But I do see, because it's hard because we don't have baby Groot no more. Like it was baby Groot, and then now we're teenage Groot, possibly going back into like young adult Groot. So this is a very weird entry. I think we're just doing something to give the new, really young Marvel fans something to bite into.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a baby Groot that sits on my dashboard, by the way.
Yeah.
He's super cute.
Hey, get the bag, Disney. That's what I agree 100%. This is that Ask Forky moment and stuff when they did the Ask Forky and then they sold some really ugly toys. I'm not calling Forky ugly, but he was ugly. As all get out. But that's what this is. This is
I'm trash.
This is a money grab, and it's going to work because I'm going to watch it. I don't have little ones at home, but it's part of the MCU, so I'm going to check it out.
Do you guys remember Celebrity? Do you remember Celebrity Deathmatch, the claymation wrestling show?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we get a revamped version of Grogu and Baby Groot?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yes. Please.
That would
Who
be
owns
amazing.
that? Was that MTV? Is that
That
who?
was
Or was that
MTV had
Disney?
that.
Thing?
Yeah.
That wasn't Disney.
It was.
Darn. Yeah.
And David's like, I want to go back and watch every celebrity death match, and I want to add commentary because it's going to join our Disney podcast now.
Absolutely. In fact, I would actually. So since it's sitting on the shelf and it's not doing anything, MTV, sell it to Disney. And let's have a all Disney property celebrity death match. The series, you can come out with that and have some amazing, and you can have Luis be an announcer, and all Luis, Agent Wu, you have celebrity, real actors being the announcer.
Darcy.
Yes, absolutely. And it's you're battling Tiana's battling, Rocket, or Star-Lord's, battling I don't know, Prince Eric from Little Mermaid. I mean, because they're both got that kind of. I'm telling you, Prince Eric would have been Star-Lord if given half a chance. So
hey, James Gunn versus Sean Gunn.
Yeah. So I think we have something here. If Disney comes out with this in the next year, they owe us a check. I'm just saying. I mean,
or we should come out with it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
They don't really owe us a check. Just give us some invites to D23.
I'm a great writer. You've got the tech aspect down. Louis has the graphics.
Okay.
We got this.
Yeah. Okay.
Make our own show. We'll do our own Disney death match.
Celebrity death match. That works.
No, Disney death match.
Disney death match. Okay.
I see us turning this into a game.
Hey, we can call it a fire department fight since it's below Walt's apartment.
There we go. Street fight. Street fighter.
You better be Reedy Creek ready.
Yeah, Main Street
Reedy Creek's
fights.
in Florida.
Yeah. I'm gonna play the Street Fighter theme music as we do this. We're gonna rip everyone off. Everyone's gonna get a little piece of this. So
I low key want to do this though.
I do too, actually.
We'll talk about it off the air. This
is creative. None of you fans out there steal this idea. We will come after you.
And if you're gonna steal this idea, count us in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You can do it with us. We'll do it together. Team effort. So you made a very funny comment before we started, David, that I'm going to have you bring back up. But I think it is something that it's about
my pimple on my back. Wait, what?
No,
which comment are you talking about?
Vin Diesel.
Oh, yeah. We can talk about that and stuff. Like, I seriously, like, okay, this is no disrespect. I like Vin Diesel. He's a good actor. I've been following him since Boiler Room and I like his Pitch Black and all that stuff, and Fast Families, Fast Furious, whatever it's called now. That's fine. Get your bag, get your money. But here's the thing. He definitely commands a high dollar because who he is. You'll be hard pressed to find someone who doesn't really know who Vin Diesel is. Why would you ever continue a partnership with someone like that who requires that high demand of money to play a character that you can really just get Alan from the coffee shop to play, saying I am Groot and stuff. I mean, like, and here's the thing. Like, okay, I get there's CGI characters and people have characteristics and stuff like Bruce Banner is probably the ultimate where it's like the Hulk. He has his mannerism and everything else like that. So that makes sense. Rocket Raccoon with Bradley Cooper and stuff has some of Bradley Cooper's stuff. You can get like, hey, Bradley Cooper's in Marvel. Like, yeah, he plays Rocket Raccoon. But when you say, hey, Vin Diesel's in Marvel, you almost forget that he's a part of Marvel. It's like, who's the Vin Diesel? Oh, that's right. He's the guy that says I am Groot. Like, and that's it and stuff. So if they I'll put it this way. If they went back and just erased all of Vin Diesel stuff and put anybody in there, Lewis can be in there and say, I am Groot. They synthesize his voice and stuff. Would that have any impact on anything? No, nothing. Not a single thing. So get your bag. That's cool. They pay you. You accept. I would do it if I only had to say 3 sentences and I got paid whatever the amount that I don't care if they paid me minimum wage to say those 3 lines and stuff, and I get something on the back end, I'll do it. But it just strikes me as odd. You're it's like hiring freaking Al Pacino to play a sheep and or play one of the goats in the new Thor movie and stuff, and all he does is yell. So it's like you got Al Pacino just to yelp, and that's it. That's so.
By the way, those goats were my daughter's favorite part.
You bring up a valid point, though. Like in Guardians, it doesn't have a ridiculously big budget, but it does have a pretty good budget. But when you look at already the Guardians themselves, you got quite a stacked lineup just on Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, the lady that plays Nebula, all of them. Even oh my gosh, the guy that played now I'm blanking his name too.
Oh, Dave Bautista. Yeah, plays Drax.
Dave Bautista.
Drax.
Playing him.
I love him.
Bradley Cooper as Rocket. You have those, but then when you look at guys like Vin Diesel, you look at Guardians 2, brought in Sylvester Stallone. How much did that run them back? When they brought in Ronan, the guy that played Ronan.
Yeah.
Ronan didn't play. He was a key role, but he wasn't shown a lot on the movie. How much money are they spending on actors to put in that? When you cast Chris Evans as Captain America, he was big, but not that big. Probably mid-level actors. Let's go RDJ. RDJ was, nobody was messing with him.
That's his comeback career.
Thunder.
Yeah, that was his comeback. And then
like how much
Disney, Marvel saved his career.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
How much creative ideas are we cutting to have guys like Vin Diesel say, I am Groot? Because I'm going to be the first one to say it. Guardians 2 was a huge letdown, and they cut us short a lot versus Volume 1.
Lewis actually asked me before we started if I was watching, because we were talking about the order we watch things in the MCU, and we both agreed that you should watch things at this point chronologically. And I know some people prefer watching in release order. It's fine. I think Star Wars is better to watch in release order. Lewis pretty much said the same thing. But for Marvel, I think watching chronologically is better.
Yep.
And we were talking. He's like, "What would you skip over if you had to skip over something?" I said, "Everything Guardians. Just skip over all of the Guardians." And I said, "It's not because I have anything with Guardians 1. It's just like Guardians 2. I know there's nothing to look forward to after Guardians 1. So it's just like, I might as well skip over that entire storyline."
I get that. In fact, I'm gonna be honest. I would have skipped all the Thor movies until Ragnarok. True. If Ragnarok was my first introduction of like the background of Thor and his personality and stuff, I would have been a happy camper. But and not to say the first one wasn't okay. They're going with more of a serious version of Thor and who he was, and it's like, but that's not how he's being played up when he does these team up movies and stuff. So that wasn't that great. And then 2 just bomb. I was like, dude, what are we doing with Dark World here?
Low-key, he's kind of not low-key, but low-key. Thor is kind of dumb.
He's a frat boy. So, that's it. Plain and simple.
Party Thor was perfect. That is Thor.
With powers and muscles and the ambition just to fight everybody. He's a frat boy. So
and a pretty face and body.
My same issue with Guardians. Guardians on their own, smart for the most part.
Yeah.
Mistakes make better. But when every time they went into like an Avengers film or a collaboration part, they were like the education was zero. So one of the worst lines from Infinity War is when Iron Man asks him, "Are you from Earth?" He say, "No, I'm from Missouri." That's Earth. Hold on. Chris Pratt mentions Earth in Guardians 1 when he's talking Kevin Bacon. Like, they just dumbed them down for no reason. I'm like, why did you do that? Like,
they were comic relief characters. And 100% agree with that.
Star-Lord also has his moments too, though, where he's not very smart.
But there's levels to that. I mean, there is. Yeah. I mean, there's those who are kind of, you're punching outside. Like if Bruce Banner was having a conversation with Star-Lord, that would go kind of one-sided and stuff.
No, I just mean like I love Star-Lord. Love him. Yeah, he's my favorite character from Guardians. But I do think that there's an element of obnoxiousness to him, like there is to Thor.
Obnoxiousness, yes, but you don't know where you're from when you shared it before. That's
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, that was kind of campy. That was, because I was like, come on, really?
That was poor story writing because they know that there are diehards out there. We're talking to 3 of them right now who are going to realize that stuff. You can't cut corners on storytelling in the MCU.
Nope.
You have to make sure all of the pieces are cohesive. You have to have people consume the material after it's been created to make sure that your storyline is cohesive, because if not, you're going to get called on it and people are going to be let down and disappointed. So thankfully they've been doing a lot better for us. We've found less and less inconsistencies, but the inconsistencies are there.
And here's the thing. I don't think it's so let me say this to everyone. We're not shitting on Marvel movies and stuff. This is the part where we get to critique, because we actually love and appreciate the whole, the whole process of this. And they, even Marvel themselves, will tell you, there are some things we had to tweak or fix or kind of, go back and or explain because we kind of missed the ball. They'll admit that and stuff, and that's fine. And we as a fan, we get to critique. I don't hate any of the Marvel stuff. I don't want, wish death on the character or, think the writers need to be fired or anything. I like it. It's just, these are just some things we get to point out and have a really fair and honest conversation about and stuff. And some of the stuff they kind of missed the ball in some areas and they didn't. And while there's no movie that's perfectly written, outside of Scarface, there's no movie that has been perfectly cast outside of Scarface. There's just it doesn't exist out there. It's a unicorn. So all these movies are going to have a little bit fair commentary on them and criticism. So that's what that is. I saw that wincing, Lewis. And I know that the fans didn't see it because we're on a podcast, but what's your beef with Scarface?
Scarface is 100%. You know what? 1,000% just trash.
What?
Yes.
Oh, hell no. Oh,
all right, hang on. Debate time. Blurred Hulk.
You kiss your mom with that mouth? Like what? Trash. Straight. Wait, do you hate you? Why do you hate Al Pacino and Santa Claus and the two? Why do you hate everything? What is that?
Hold on, wait, what?
Scarface is trash. Why do you hate life, man? What?
Oh, hold on. This got so aggressive real quick. Santa Claus.
I'm surprised he didn't say Jesus. You're muted, David. That's what you get.
Just sure about my audience, so.
All right, so all right. So the reason I'm not a fan of Scarface. So I've watched movies like Blood In, Blood Out, American Me. Those movies I feel just have so much more. How we talked before, more of like a cultural like awareness of kind of unfortunately what is going on. When you watch Scarface, I feel like that's like Hollywood stereotype of it. It's like Al Pacino did a great job, 100%. Visually, it was good, but I'm like, this is what everyone holds to like one of the greatest like gangster movies. Like, what about like The Godfather, American Me, Blood and
Godfather is great. Those are they're all in the top.
When I see Scarface stuff, it's like, and I'm probably gonna get some. It's like when I see. Like 10 years ago when Hot Topic just exploited like Nightmare Before Christmas and everyone was about it. To me, Scarface right now is that. Everyone's like, Scarface is the best.
You're comparing it to Tim Burton stuff.
I almost want to ask them, like, have you even watched Scarface? Because if you have, I don't know if you'd be promoting it that much. And if you did watch it, you don't want to fake about it because you're going to end up in a jacuzzi. So let it be.
Really, these guys, Scarface. Here's the thing. This is my issue with those other movies. Like you said, Blood In, Blood Out. Right? Movies don't have to have a redeemable character or a character you have to cheer for. It's okay to have characters that if they die, you're like, yeah, they deserve it. There are bad guys. These are bad. This is a bad life. They're doing bad stuff. I don't really, care. They're criminals. But these movies tries to soften at least a character or two to make you feel for them emotionally. They go through this arc. They try to, and then throughout the realities of violence and upbringing and growing up and friends and everything else, they make changes, but it may be too late. Like they may be at the cost of their lives. That stuff is played out. I'm sorry. There are some guys who exist in this world that are just bad guys, and they own it and they push forward. And here's the thing: the world rewards bad guys. And that's why those type of gangster movies and stuff, including The Godfather, was successful. No one really cared about Al Pacino's character in The Godfather until he owned that Godfather role, until he became like, I'm not going to be the good boy who's going to school and going to do, I'm taking over my father. This is what I'm a bad guy. And you're going to hate me, and you'll probably be okay if I die and stuff. So that's why I like Scarface and stuff, because he was never a redeemable character throughout when he was a fish fry cook all the way up into a freaking top tier cocaine dealer and stuff. And I know we're off track, but I had to address this.
It's okay. I can get us back real quick.
You know what though? Yeah. You know what? You do bring valuable points that I don't give enough credit to. I think for me, it's just it's the overhype about it. For
I get that.
I think that's what it's more about. Like the movie itself isn't bad, but
it's the culture. The
culture, and then also the fan base behind just the cover art. Like, you've never seen the movie, you've seen like 4 or 5 famous stills, and you're like, Scarface for life. It's like, don't say that, because if you saw the movie, like you were just sharing, those are valuable points. It wouldn't be your top 5 because you feel like it's just another movie.
I agree.
You
100%.
Think you know what it is.
I wouldn't have a poster on the wall of Scarface. I wouldn't sitting there like, "I call me Tony Montana" and act because like you've never really seen the movie, or you damn sure don't understand what that movie is about and stuff. There's some fanfare that is just beyond crazy and stuff. So I agree with that. It's overhyped in that sense of the world. Like he's like almost he's a superhero character, like one of our Marvel guys and stuff. It's like, no, he's not.
I have a great point to make here. Because, David, like you just said, superheroes. But you said just a couple minutes ago about how they honor bad guys. You know who doesn't honor bad guys?
Bring it. Tell us.
She-Hulk.
She locks their asses up.
She does.
Or fights them. Yeah.
Or fights them. She's the justice getter all around. And we're getting that on the 18th, is it?
Yes, August 18th. So we got 2 weeks and stuff when that comes out.
August 18th. Of course, we will be covering episode by episode.
Absolutely.
Giving you the goods. Let's dive a little bit into who She-Hulk is in the comics so that we can give a little bit of background for people who may not have read her comic book series, have not seen introductions to her elsewhere. Pretty much, she is the cousin of Bruce Banner.
Yes.
I know a lot of people are like
Jennifer Walters. Yes.
Jennifer Walters. Yeah, a lot of people are like, what? Didn't start off with his blood. Did not.
Yeah. Well, clarify too. There's. I don't know if you two have heard this a lot, but a lot of people are like saying She-Hulk is like the new Hulk. Like she's there. You know,
it's not.
Yeah, it's not. They're not replacing Hulk. It's just this is a family member of Hulk, and that's who this is. This isn't like, you know, they're all the I hate having to do this and stuff, but it's like, oh, we got female Thor, and now we're about to have a female Iron Man, and now we're about to have a female Incredible Hulk. Like, no, these are all their self characters. These are separate characters.
Yeah, they are. So Jennifer's mother, just to give you a little bit of background. I know you guys, we've already talked about this and you guys know, but for our listeners, her mother died in a car accident, and it was later found out to be like a premeditated thing for basically, he was a mob boss, Nick Trask. And after her mother's death, her and her dad basically both threw themselves into their work. She graduated law school from UCLA, and she, you know, did the whole college experience. I'm going to be completely honest and tell you that she may be a lawyer, but the girl parties like nobody's business. Like, she's a party girl. And
you mean like Sex in the City party girl?
Like Sam on Walt's apartment party girl. The look on Lewis's face.
There's like, I went to Samuel from a few weeks ago, so I was like, well, where's Sam? Because
so eventually one of her cases is to defend a man who is accused of killing Nick Trask, that mob boss who killed her mom, his guard. And she finds out that her client has been basically set up and framed for this, decides that, she's going to get him off. And Trask is like, well, we can't have this. So he orders to have her shot. She does get shot, and then she needs blood infusion, which comes from none other than her cousin, Bruce Banner. So she gets a gamma irradiated blood transfusion, and she becomes the 6-foot green glamazon that we now know and love as the She-Hulk.
So that they may change that a little bit in the show, but yeah, that is how the comic book origins happens for her and stuff. Now we do know, so I'm going to say this. So at the end of the Eternals, when they're, we see the hologram version of Bruce Banner and stuff. It's Bruce Banner. He's in his plaid shirt and the sling. He's not the nerdy Professor Hulk and stuff. Well, they show an episode and they show a clip of him in the trailer of him wearing the exact same plaid shirt in the sling. So Hulk does come back, and I think this is where this part is. It answers some of that that gap of like, hey, what happened to Professor Hulk? Like we saw the human Bruce Banner version. We thought they merged together, like at the end of Endgame, our Infinity Wars and stuff like that. So this may answer that as well too. So what happened? Like, how did we get Bruce Banner and then we get back to Professor Hulk and stuff? So
yeah. I will say too, though, that there are going to be a lot of, there's a lot of fun Easter eggs in the comics that I am hoping we get to stay consistent in the storyline, because they would be fun things for us to talk about. So you guys want a fun fact? You want a fun fact about the comments?
Bring it.
Okay. 3 of the namesakes of the law firm, Goodman, Lieber, and Kurtzberg, and Holloway, which is where she is a lawyer, are all comic book creators. Goodman is Martin Goodman, the original publisher of Marvel Comics.
Nice.
Lieber is Stan Lee's original name. Kurtzberg is Jacob Kurtzberg, and he is the creator of Jack Kirby.
Nice.
And Holloway is the character who hires her in the comics.
That is a cool Easter egg before the show even starts.
So if we get the name,
David, you brought up a good point. They might change some stuff. I think there's a reason why which we probably are all calling it correctly. There's a reason why we see Daredevil at the end of the trailer. There's a reason she's attorney at law. But the part that I think they might change just a tad bit, if her mother was killed by a mob boss in the comics, what is the chances of them kind of reworking that a little bit to fit into the Hawkeye show we got a little bit? I think that we are, if she is the She-Hulk for the future, for to replace the Hulk contract wise, maybe. If it is, cool, let's get a good movie.
Yep.
But I don't think that. I think we're getting a flavor of Hulk in more of the streaming Daredevil that's coming. I think with this, maybe Hawkeye, Kingpin. I think this is going to bring another home run hitter to maybe a level underneath what we're going to get in the next few years with Fantastic Four, Secret Wars, and all that. I think she's just playing to a lower tier to be a big hitter player.
So absolutely, because she does join the Fantastic Four. She joins the Mighty Avengers. She does the A-Team? A-Force team. A-Force team. She joins A-Force team.
Yep. She was a lawyer. She was a lawyer for Heroes for Hire. She was their own retainer. So
you said Hawkeye, and David, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there a comic line where Hawkeye kills Bruce Banner?
Yep. Shoots him right in the head.
And then I believe in She-Hulk's comic line, when that happens, that's when she leaves superhero life and becomes just the lawyer for superheroes, basically. So are we thinking, is Bruce Banner going to be gone?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna say this. Outside of the MCU story arc, there are some things that are still in play, and I hate saying this because it's the same drama stuff that we had to deal with Fox owning certain Marvel properties. They don't 100% own Bruce Banner to do standalone movies and stuff. Not yet.
That's a Universal, right?
Correct. Warner Brothers or Universal. They have it so he can be in any team up movie per their contract and how everything is and stuff. He can be in any of that. You slapped him with. He can be in anyone else's movies and stuff. He can't do standalone yet. So I think if it is his demise, is because Disney was unable to fully secure the rights to him because everybody, and I tell you what, my dream movie right now would be World War Hulk. I tell you, it would be the biggest. It'd be more. I would be more anticipated for that than I am for the next Avengers, including Battle World or Secret Wars.
Secret Wars, yeah, which also is a battle that She-Hulk is in the comics.
So I'm hoping for a surprise, like last minute announcement at D23, like, hey, guess what? We secured the rights for Hulk. He's ours now, and we're gonna make a movie with Bruce Banner. But if we don't get that, I think she's just gonna kind of step in, and they may put him out to pasture. I'm
saying, could it be where we see that she was a superhero, and now because they are already calling her the lawyer for superheroes, basically, right? So if we're
did we lose her?
You froze.
Oh, I'm back. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
I was saying, because if I know they do not stick to the comic book lines, but in my brain, that's how I rationalize things.
Well, they use that word loosely too, though, because they're forcing her to be Blonsky, aka the Abomination's lawyer. He's not a hero at all.
Yeah. But I'm saying she wasn't representing superheroes, villains, superpowered beings until post Banner's death.
Yes.
So I don't know. Part of my brain is trying to rationalize that. I can tell you as a girl and a girl mom, what I'm excited about. So She-Hulk as a character, she was not comfortable with her identity at first, but then she was like, I like being this big, green, hot, sexy Amazonian, like beautiful woman. I'm going to step out into it more. And she became super confident. And she kind of broke a lot of barriers about what a woman should look like, what a woman should do, what women should talk like. So she's very smart. She is beautiful. And basically, so I'm going to read this directly from this book that I have because I cannot say it as well as they do. So
you don't have to announce you're reading the book.
It's fine, but I want people to know, if you have not read Powers of a Girl, Marvel's Powers of a Girl, get it. Amazing. Girl power all the way. And that was my ad for this episode. Absolutely. So this mighty package may be intimidating to some, but Jen knows you can be big, powerful, and an intellectual dynamo that is all woman. Hey, people have a lot of ideas about what a lady looks like, and Jen is a reminder that no one gets to tell you who you are, no matter if you're a boy, girl, non-binary, actual green person, or any dang thing in between. Jen is one of the first ladies to truly show that she doesn't need to be demure or petite to be feminine or foxy. Jen is all about confidence, body positivity, and fun. She wasn't always that way, and it still takes her work. She still falls back. But I love that as having her as a role model for girls. We need lots of those in the MCU, and MCU is doing a great job with what they've been giving us lately. So I think She-Hulk is going to add to that.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be a fun. I grew up in the '90s. I'm an '80s kid, but I grew up in the '90s, and there was this they had TV law shows and stuff, and Ally McBeal or The Practice, and it's going to be probably in that vein. With heroes, we're going to get some cameos and some. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I think we're going to get most of the shows that they put out on Disney Plus. That content. I know that Kevin Feige said it's they are definitely attached and they're a part of the MCU universe and stuff. And we sit here try to connect the pieces and stuff. I think this might be a show where the pieces are going to be obvious in our face. It's going to like, boom, here you go. Here's, go ahead, man.
Speaking of obvious, I'm curious though, throwing this out to both of you guys. What is one thing that will get jaw drop that can happen in She-Hulk that we have not seen in trailers? Obviously, we've seen that there's a possibility of Daredevil showing up. But if there was one thing that was to pop up in She-Hulk that would literally give you that Leonardo DiCaprio moment where you're pointing at the TV like, there it is, what would be that moment? Because I'm having a hard time finding one besides like the obvious, like we were sharing, a solid She-Hulk, an awesome Bruce Banner. But what is something that we are not expecting that we may see in She-Hulk that's like, let's go?
So I'm going to tell you now, there's two things I would love to see happen and stuff. One, Frank Castle. Oh my God, I would sit down and drop jaw drop. I'm like, okay, first of all, I want the Netflix Frank Castle too, not just any old other Punisher and so having him just kind of come in, whether he's in a jail cell or he needs an attorney or he needs some help to clear his name or something like that, and seeing I would love to see somebody that is going to be from whether we get how do I put this? Anybody from the X-Men genre or Fantastic Four who kind of pops in there and stuff. Don't even have to identify them. It could be just a quick cameo and stuff. I know we're using the original Fox's X-Men and stuff, so even one of those and stuff. But I really like to see Frank Castle. That would floor me. So
for me, it would actually be to see her defending Spider-Man and Doctor Strange after tearing open the multiverse, and everybody wants them to be in trouble.
Oh,
and pay for all the damages.
Yeah.
So I had one, but I got two now because I'm seconding what you said. Frank Castle, Netflix Frank Castle.
Yes.
Absolutely 100%. It'd be tight if she kind of had him in her back pocket. Like, I know a guy. Kind of like Falcon with Ant-Man. Like, yes, I know a guy.
I know somebody.
And I'm going to steal the idea of X-Men, but not X-Men. Okay. I would like to see maybe something, now that we're kind of showing Bruce Banner has family, is there a possibility that either we see a new version or a reworked storyline on a already born son or a coming soon son?
Ooh.
Now that's stretching real far, but if we step out of the Marvel world and into like legal world, they only have probably Mark Ruffalo for so many more years.
Yeah.
So, and if we're going to replace Hulk because contract legalities, bring in his son. And is it Scar his name? Or
so Scar is his son. Scar is he's that guy who has something to prove to daddy. But I actually don't not like that and stuff. So I would go with either bring in a son or bring in Amadeus. So Amadeus Cho, part of Young Avengers, got replaced after Hulk got killed and stuff. Took the mantle and stuff, and did a fantastic job at it. A young, maybe Amadeus is, at Cal Poly with Bruno, from Miss Marvel and stuff. And when we hear his roommate, like, hey, I'm Amadeus. Hey, I'm Bruno. And whatever. I'm like, okay, I know who you are. You are now going to be the replacement for, but the son Scar, I actually like that idea too.
I mean, and then it also, Amadeus plays along too, though, because like Sam was sharing, is there a possibility that in She-Hulk or coming soon, but do we know that we are at the end with Bruce Banner? Maybe something does happen. Maybe we start seeing Hulk and Bruce Banner not necessarily physically separate, but where he's not able to transform either back or he is aging. So that would play well more so than bringing his son in.
Mhm.
But at what point do we see an actual Hulk love interest? I can't remember.
Kyra.
Yeah. So I wonder.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I was just working through that as you were saying it. Is if we don't get Scar yet, do we get Kyra? But then that also brings extraterrestrial beings into She-Hulk, which is kind of a lot to.
World Breaker Hulk. I want that storyline so bad because you can absolutely, this can inform that story and stuff, and it can set something up that he can revert back into the beast that, but yeah, we missed that with Iron Man 3 and stuff. We had the opportunity. We sent him off, and it's like, oh, they're about to. I mean, everyone, at least in my circles and stuff, was like, dude, they're about to drop him off onto another planet. He's about to, they have the self-destruct button on there. It's going to kill his family, his people. He's been battling like in Thor Ragnarok and stuff, and we're gonna get war, but it didn't happen.
Or do they play off the comics, like go completely against the comics, and was Bruce Banner getting a little buck wild in Ragnarok, and there was something brewing up there that now comes back down to Earth?
Ooh, okay. And the Game Master drops him off, so we get a cameo.
Yes, because like we said, we know we can't get a standalone Hulk movie, but Hulk's transition from all his cameos is too fast. It's like Fast and the Furious movies. There's no continuity anymore. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
But if we can, if they're not going to play into that storyline, which is fine. Give us a solid movie. But if Hulk was doing something up there, and now his son is maybe mad because he does have a bit of a vengeance. Maybe he's mad because Dad dipped out, didn't realize I was here. I'm here to prove this.
Ooh. I actually like that. Yeah, he could have left himself a little something. Jeff Goldblum's character, the Grand Master, just like, you know what? I can't control this kid. Drops his ass off on Earth and stuff and says, "Here you go." And he's pissed.
Drops the Maury line.
Yes.
Drops the whole Maury. You are the father.
You are the father. He's like, how am I the father? He's green. What else? He's green.
Looks just like you. Why are you mad?
It's like, well, that tracks. Yeah, and there's your comic. Yeah. I actually like this. Where this is developing. All right, this is a rabbit hole, obviously, people. But I think this would be a pretty good move if they went this route and stuff. So, do I logically think this may happen? Probably not. But man, I would love to see something like that. We haven't had a good surprise like that play out in a long time and stuff. So yeah. Hey, we got a special guest here. She wanna talk and say hey to all the fans.
But you are talking. They can hear you.
Tell her, say hi, Marvel Tribe.
Say hi, Marvel Tribe. Her head rolled like, oh, so now I'm talking about this. He already talks about it.
Right on.
Hey, we like to do kid cameos on this show, Lewis.
Absolutely. Oh, Sam's daughter used to give us the 1 minute rundown on which show was that? Was it
WandaVision?
Yes. We want that back. I want that segment back and stuff. But
she'll give you 1 minute rundowns on like Coco Melon and like the Disney princesses, but probably not Marvel. She's not quite there. She'll watch like 30 seconds and she's out.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I'll have to go back to Haley giving us rundowns.
Love it.
I remember there were some. She was like, there was blood.
Yeah, that was actually pretty fun and stuff. So you definitely need to bring her back on. But
the darndest things.
So are you guys? So what's your guys' like take on this, like the She-Hulk? Or like you're excited for it? You're like wait and see, or you're kind of underwhelmed and you think it's not going to do good?
I was kind of like, let's wait and see until we started talking about it tonight. And now I'm like, this could be, it has so much potential. And like like we did with WandaVision and our speculating and Mephisto, and like our brains run wild with this rogue excitement for all things Marvel. Mm-hmm. And it's fun for us to do that. But I feel like at the same time, we kind of set ourselves up. But I will say that, like, I'm not going to speak for you guys, but I've not been disappointed. When I speculate something and I don't get it, Marvel is still delivering me something that I didn't realize that I wanted, but I wanted it.
Yeah, it would have been a great payoff if Mephisto was real, but I didn't care that we didn't get
what they gave us was beautiful. Yeah, it was perfect. Fun. Yeah.
So I'm kind of the wait and see. I'm liking the trailers so far. We're getting more and more info and stuff. What's going on? I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a fun ride. I'll admit it here on the show. She's freaking hot. She-Hulk is, and not saying that Jennifer isn't. But that green 6'8" frame and stuff like that. It's out in the room, but yeah, she's hot. So, but I also liked Luisa from what was that Disney animated cartoon
Encanto
and stuff. So just something, I don't know, big, just strong, tough, independent women and stuff with the world on their shoulders. So that's it. That's my whole...
David.
Don't make it weird with the awkward silence and stuff.
No, I'm not making it weird with the awkward silence. I am working through a previous conversation in my head, and we're not going there. We are not going there. We are not going there. I don't have anything else to say tonight. Do you guys have anything else to say tonight?
No, we can call it 45.
Lewis, you got something?
Hey, what you working on, Lewis?
So my review of She-Hulk that I'm waiting for, I'm excited for, but I'm gonna wait till halfway through episode 5. So then if we make it that far and it's still good, then they broke this halfway curse where it gets good for the half part. And then we're like, oh, what happened? We got 9 episodes, so I'm excited for that. But I'm curious, though, is how do they completely off the show, how do they pull off like an 8-foot She-Hulk in Disneyland California Adventure? Because that's what I'm curious to see now. Because I'm waiting for David to flash his picture on Wednesday's show like, hey, look what I did.
So there's some WNBA stars. They're not 8 foot, but they may be able to, Disney may make approach them like, hey, yeah, all season, you want to come hang out?
Let's get you on some platform shoes.
And don't even tell them. Just like, hey, just wear a dress. We're gonna make you up in green. Don't even say anything. And just come out and just walk around the park and stuff with your tall frame. So yeah, I don't know. We might get that. I doubt it, but you never know. What I don't want is a Disney character costume of She-Hulk. I'm like, just don't do it.
If you can't make her the glamazonite that she is, don't do it.
Don't do it. Yep.
I think we're gonna get the lawyer version without green. I think we're gonna get that the first couple weeks, and then probably that's it.
Oh, you could get the lawyer version, or we could get her in green as her lawyer version, but I don't know.
Well, either way,
I guess it depends on the storyline that they're going to give us.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna watch. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna talk about it. So follow us. Make sure you download this and like us on all the podcasts whatever platform you listen to us on, because those stars, those ratings help us out tremendously.
If you are on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and give Walt's Apartment Podcast a rating, and then I would recommend you following our YouTube just in case we get kicked off of Facebook Live like we did last night, because we had a Sony copyright that they did release. So follow us over on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Walt's Apartment Behind the Lamp, a bunch of fun places that you can connect with us.
Absolutely.
And I think that's all we've got for tonight. We'll see you next time on the Marvel Tribe.